Hello, here we're going to talk briefly about Turiya of our review of Om and the 7 levels of consciousness mapped out by Turiya as an outline of levels of consciousness and an outline of sadhana or practices. Turiya is number 7 of the 7 levels we're talking about. It is the absolute reality, and it refers to consciousness itself. And in terms of the the U, and the the Om, it is the silence which is after the Om. And it is representative of the pure consciousness. Now remember, the deeper we come in this journey of these levels of consciousness, the more difficult it is to talk about it. It's just almost impossible to talk about, but we have to do it anyway. Turiya literally means the fourth and represents that which permeates, observes, and is the other 3 levels. All of the other 3 levels manifest outward from this. Here's a point here. This one I'm going to more go to the text. I've worked very hard to find some word, to create wording here to talk about. To call Turiya a level is not really accurate, since it is always, in fact, witness of and at one with the other states. So it actually is the infinite non-dual reality. So all of the others are contained within it or are manifested out of it. And here again is where we've taken this and rotated it 90 degrees so we can look at it as levels. And here we put the thing down here as this purple as if it's a level. It helps our minds get some grasp of this, but it actually is the ground which contains and is all of the other levels. So we have the absolute reality here, out of which comes the causal plane, this darker blue, out of which emerges the subtle plane called Tejasa, out of which emerges Vaishrana, the gross level. And so all of this moves outward on that way. A very old metaphor of this is that Turiya is like standing on the roof of a 3-floor building. The first 3 floors are waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, or gross, subtle, causal, or subconscious, unconscious, conscious mind. Those are the first 3 floors of the building. And out of each floor, you can look out the windows and you can experience something, you can see something. But it's only by standing on the roof that you get the whole panorama of the whole thing. Very old metaphor. I don't know who to give credit to for that, but it's a very old metaphor. And so here again we're talking about, we had a section earlier on practicing the Om mantra, and this again is talking about the Om that permeates all the levels of the causal. It permeates all the levels of the subtle and all the levels. Here's another simple little metaphor about waves in the ocean. The waves, remember, it's just a symbolic story. The waves, each wave in the ocean comes to think that they have individual existence, forgetting that their true nature is that of the ocean. The self, or Atman, gradually comes to remember that its true nature is that of the absolute reality, commonly called Brahman. And this means Turiya. It means knowing that center of consciousness, Turiya, which is self or Atman, and then with that comes the realization that at the deepest level of my being, I am one with the universe, by whatever name we choose to call that. And different people have different views of that. Some have a non-theistic view and can call it Brahman, or the absolute reality. Some have a theistic view and call it God. And I'm not trying to get into a debate of which is accurate. People have different views. But the essential principle here is one and the same, is that if we follow through these levels of consciousness interior to the silence after the Om, that which is symbolized by that, we come to see that I am one with the universe, whatever the nature of that universe is. I am a wave in the ocean of bliss. I and the ocean are one. I am ocean, I am that. And here's another sort of final point in this that I want to just read this to you. I borrowed this from Swami Rama because the wording is just so perfect. This is an extremely difficult point to find any words to discern between samadhi and turiya. And here it is. There is and this takes a great deal of contemplation on to even understand, and then lots of practice to experience. There is a fine distinction between samadhi and turiya. Samadhi is a dualistic style of attention, while turiya is non-dualistic, leading one to the experience of I am that, or self-realization. There are many objects on which one can practice meditation and enter samadhi, and there are gross, subtle, and subtler levels of objects in which one might attain samadhi, as well as objectless samadhi. However, turiya brings one to self-realization that I am a wave in the ocean of bliss, I am the ocean, I and the ocean are one, I am ocean, I am that. And there are, of course, many different ways in which yogis and people, traditions explain the nature of oneness. And our intent here is not to give the final definitive definition of that or enter into a debate over those points, but to simply point out here that this is what is the silence after Om is leading to, and that Om, the whole process of Om, is leading towards the realization of that. And the realization of our personal identity or non-identity with that is the meaning of the word yoga, of unity. And so Om leads to yoga or unity. And so here again, this is the end of our journey with that, and next we'll go through a review of the text of the Mandukya Upanishad. Once again, thank you for visiting, and I hope this is serving you well and that you are enjoying it, and that Om becomes a wonderful, useful leader for you in your journey to the center of consciousness. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.